Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You didn't arrive by scrolling. You were brought because you need to know the story others wrote about you is expiring. The version of you they banked on, tired, apologetic, easy to sway, can't be found anymore. They may search for that former pattern, call your name how they used to, bait you with the same tricks. Nothing responds, because the one answering now is different. There's a moment in every calling where you stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and you start realizing, "I've been right the whole time." This is that moment. You're not ascending to escape life. You're aligning to live it for real. The fog you fought through wasn't weakness. It was the last veil over your eyes. You are seeing clean. People who misread you will feel it first, not because you attack, not because you perform, but because your presence no longer agrees with what is false. That alone creates a ripple. You'll notice it in tiny ways. Conversations lose their grip. Old pressure points don't hurt. Rooms that used to drain you suddenly have no access to your energy. That isn't you turning cold. That's you finally carrying your true temperature. Imagine a tuning fork struck in a noisy hall. It doesn't scream to be heard. It holds a pure note, and anything out of tune is revealed by contrast. That's you now. Your life is holding a clean note. Anything that can't resonate with it either rises to meet it or fades out. You were conditioned to over-explain what your spirit already knew, to be considerate beyond the point of truth, to accept watered-down connections as if thirst were normal. That conditioning is breaking. You're choosing exactness. You're letting your yes be an actual yes and your no be an actual no. Watch how quickly peace finds you when your words match your inner knowing. There was resistance. You didn't imagine it. Some of it came with smiles. Some of it wore loyalty as a mask. It wasn't random. You were refined in those seasons, the way steel is tempered, heated, hammered, cooled, repeated, until the blade holds an edge nothing can dull. You used to call that time setback. Heaven called it forging. You are not the same person who tolerated half-truths just to keep the room calm. You carry a steadiness now that doesn't negotiate with confusion. This steadiness isn't hardness, it's clarity. It shows up as fewer words, cleaner choices, and a timeline that stops looping. Patterns that kept repeating suddenly stop. Not because other people changed first, but because you did. You'll notice something else. The weight hasn't disappeared, but it has become meaningful. What used to feel like chaos now has a map. You can trace the lesson, feel the upgrade, sense the timing. You can say, "I see why that closed," and actually mean it. That's maturity in spirit. Neither ice nor distance, but mastery. Your name is about to make people adjust their tone. Not from fear of you, but because your life no longer gives them permission to handle you carelessly. You'll see it in their eyes, in the careful way they measure their words, in the way they pause before asking for favors they once assumed were automatic. That shift isn't pride, it's order. You've become costly, in the best way. Access to you now requires honesty, not just with you, but with themselves. Some will meet that requirement and surprise you with real growth. Some will stall, then fade. Let them. If someone must shrink the truth to stand next to you, they aren't standing next to you, they're standing next to a costume you no longer wear. And what's changing inside you is not temporary, it's covenant. You'll keep your softness, but you won't spend it carelessly. You'll lead with kindness, but you won't confuse kindness with permission to be mishandled. You'll bless freely, yet stop financing patterns that empty you. This isn't you becoming tough. This is you being accurate about your value. Every calling has a night where the compass clicks to true north. Tonight is that click. The road didn't move, you did. And look at you, breathing easier, hearing clearer, choosing cleaner. That's alignment. That's what forward actually feels like. It isn't noisy, it's certain. So remember this, your life is about to read like proof. Proof that faith works. Proof that integrity holds. Proof that patience pays. You don't need to announce it, just keep walking. The people who needed you confused will call it arrogance. Don't answer. The people who prayed for your strength will call it beautiful. Receive that. And the one who brought you here will call it right on time. This is the beginning of your undeniable era. You have nothing left to earn to be worthy of this. You have choices to uphold. That's the difference. Worth was given. Stewardship is daily, and you're ready. From this point on, you'll keep feeling that holy separation, not dramatic, clean. Invitations that once lured you don't land anymore. Arguments that used to trap you feel too small to enter. Old roles have loosened and quietly fallen away. That is not loss, it's release. You haven't lost your circle. You've found your lane. Your lane carries responsibility, and you've already stepped into it. You speak life without flattery. You set boundaries without apology. You keep your promises even when no one is clapping. You move in truth even when truth is inconvenient. That steadiness is already changing outcomes. Opportunities that once wobbled are now holding steady. Projects that used to stall are gathering speed. Provision keeps finding you like a key meeting its lock. And yes, some have tested your edges to see if the change was real. They pressed old buttons and waited, but you didn't respond. Your reactions are no longer for sale. You've become untouchable, not because you hide, but because you no longer negotiate with what you've outgrown. Think of airport security gates. You've been walking through them for a while now, and your presence reveals what talk can't. Pretense beeps. Quiet jealousy beeps. Control disguised as care beeps. You don't chase the sounds, you simply recognize what's been revealed and move accordingly. That's wisdom. Time has already begun bending in your favor. What once felt delayed is turning out to be divine redirection. Missed chances are reappearing in better form. Places that ignored you are calling for meetings. Doors that once denied you act as if they never did. You haven't wasted breath correcting the past. You've been too busy building the future. Your heart remembers pain sometimes. It still echoes. But even in that ache, you're proof that growth spoke louder than any revenge could. You've already learned that peace that doesn't wobble is the sharpest answer there is. The canvas of your life is becoming a declaration all by itself, and it's speaking clearly. Favor follows clarity. You've seen it. The more exact your yes becomes, the stronger your resources flow. The more faithful you've been with what's in your hands, the more has been placed there. Heaven never rewarded image. It's always partnered with integrity. You learned that slowly, but deeply. And that's why your wisdom holds weight. You've started leading without even trying to lead. Your steadiness is giving others permission to become steady. Your refusal to entertain chaos is giving others courage to end it in their own lives. This is how movements begin, not with hype, but with one soul living clean enough for others to trust what clean looks like. You've felt grief too, not the kind that breaks you, but the kind that clears space. You've been laying down old dreams that belonged to earlier versions of you. You've been burying habits that once kept you safe. You've been setting down stories that protected you when you didn't have language yet. You've honored them, and you've stepped forward light. New capacity is finding you because you've made room. You've been paying attention to what lights up when you pray, to the ideas that keep knocking, to the peace that follows your no. Those are your instructions, and you've been following them beautifully. Your path has never been rushed. It's been precise. About the people who mishandled you. You've released the courtroom in your mind. You realized you can't be both judge and builder. And now, your life itself is producing evidence they can't dismiss. The truth around your name has started speaking louder than the stories ever did. That's not your job to manage. That's the law you live under now. What's true becomes obvious. Your voice has never been about defending yourself. It's been about building, and you've been doing it. Speaking what you're building into the world, blessing your work before others even see it. Blessing your home, your hands, your body, your rest. Blessing the road ahead. You've been changing the weather with your words, quietly, consistently, faithfully. You're standing in a doorway you once prayed for and prepared for. Everything behind you taught your hands what to hold. Everything ahead of you is hungry for what you carry. You've already stepped through, you're just realizing it now. This is the hour where forward isn't a concept, it's a footprint. You've already taken the actions that agree with everything you've felt while listening. You've sent the message, you've finished the task, you've forgiven, applied, started, released, planted. You've been doing it piece by piece, and it's all adding up. The old page is full, and this is the turn. You're not hoping to become the person you were designed to be. You're living as them now. And when tomorrow meets you, it will meet a steady one, a whole one, a chosen one who finally knows they are. So close the door gently behind you, face forward and walk. It's done. You're seen, and nothing can unwrite what's already in motion. As we close, I want to invite you to my second channel. It's filled with peaceful ambient music, created for moments when you need calm, stillness, or gentle focus. You can tap the playlist on your screen, and I'd be grateful to have you join me there.